on.
No, you're gonna be fine. Yeah, but we're live right now. So hey everybody,
It's
it is Thursday night at 7:01 Pacific Standard Time. Welcome to the RC Drift Talk stream. I'm Adam. Right next to me is Logan.
Yo.
And then we've got special guests Vittorio and Shaine up in here in the house here. So
live
tonight
from Connecticut.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that. But let's see. We'll just hit up the normal calendar stuff really quickly here. Last weekend was the competition, round number five
Yep.
for SDC. So Jake pretty much has it locked in the bag at this point.
You already did, yeah.
Yeah. So you've got Jake as number one qualifier heading down to Super G.
Yep.
And then the final competition is September 8th. So be ready for that, you guys. August 23rd to the 25th is Drift to Death. Logan, that's your thing. Let's go ahead and talk about that really quickly.
Yeah, we got Team Associated Drift to Death. You probably heard about it by now. It's a 3-day event that we're doing up here in Portland. Just typical Matsuri type deal, but we kind of are hoping that this one can be a little special, maybe bigger in the future. I think, like I said before, it's good timing in the season. A lot of people will have wrapped up their regional series, and you can come and have a good time and not sweat the competition side of things so much before finals, get a little break. So that's coming up next weekend, not this weekend. And I wanted to say, anyone that is traveling to PDX, if you guys need rides or anything from the airport, just start hitting us up on Instagram or Facebook, and we can start to coordinate that kind of stuff. We have plenty of people that are willing to help with that, and we can help with a lot of things if you need maybe accommodations or anything like that. Anything to help more people come out, we can see what we can do. But yeah, this year's a little short notice, and there's also another event the same weekend, which is
Rev D.
Rev D thing in California. So it's a little tough this year, but like I said, the goal is just have a good time this year, get a bunch of people that want to come back next year, and keep making it bigger every year.
Yep. We're gonna turn into the next Matsuri, or the next potluck. My bad.
Oh yeah. And we have a bunch of sponsors on board. I just want to run through them all real quick. So we got Beast Mode donating a chassis. We got One Up Racing donating some product. We got AccuVance donating some product. We got what's the deadly water stuff?
Liquid
Death is on board. Deadly water. And then Mark from Mile High is also sending me some stuff. And I believe that was it.
Do we know what it's going to be?
What Mark is sending?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe Mark will tell us.
Oh, yeah. He's usually... I haven't seen him in chat yet.
I saw him
Is
here.
he? Okay. It's going to be an awesome event. I'm still trying to decide which days I'm going to be there. I think Friday for sure. Saturday or Sunday is kind of like, who knows? Everyone's saying Saturday. Saturday is supposedly the bigger day.
Saturday is the bigger day. It's like Friday, we're probably not going to do anything but drive. Saturday will when we do all of the event stuff. So the games, the raffle, all that type of stuff will be on Saturday.
Right on.
And then Sunday will be a short day, and maybe go catch a meal somewhere with everybody or something like that.
Would John's fit everybody that wants to go? John's Marketplace.
Yeah, John's or wherever we go. And yeah, so I'm seeing a comment that the driver area is gonna be packed. That's definitely true. You're gonna have to pick your moments to go drive. We do have availability on 3 sides of the track to stand, so it's a pretty big track. We can get a good amount of people around it. And we also have more than enough pit space for everyone too. So,
and don't forget, this is 3 days. So
yeah, honestly, the way the last event like this we did, I don't end up driving all that much. It's more of just like hanging out with everybody and doing stuff.
And we'll try to figure out some sort of live stream, like even if it's
I gotta
just a
take
camera.
one quick break real quick, guys.
That's not allowed.
Dude, come on, man.
Fine.
It's just started.
And
Staying
then,
up for you.
so of course, October 4th, 5th, and 6th is Super G Worlds. So plan for that. If you haven't already looked for your hotels, do that, because that if you can get that out of the way, then it's less stress on you and all that fun stuff. What was DJ saying? I've got my nameplate on the track, so you better watch it. Oh, DJ, I'm totally gonna steal your spot because I know where you sit at the track.
You guys have assigned seating?
No, just the team guys. They have like their little placards and nameplates.
Oh, okay.
And
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like our table.
it's kind of like everyone has their trophies and just their stuff.
No, you gotta take your trophy home. Ain't enough space for that.
Whose trophy?
Any trophies. We already barely have enough space on the table as is.
I don't even know where my trophies are.
I don't know where mine. Yeah, I don't know where mine are either.
All right, so this is gonna be a pretty chill, relaxed type of intervention, not intervention, but stream here. We've got questions coming in on Discord. I asked everybody if they had questions for you, so we'll hit those up pretty soon here. But let's kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier. I don't know if we want to wait for Logan or.
He's fixing his Subaru.
Oh yeah. Did you lower your Subaru, your car, Vittorio?
I did not, but I mean it is lowered, but I didn't lower it anymore. But I do have coilovers coming for it.
Right
Yeah.
on. Logan's looks like a monster truck.
Oh yeah, that lasted for like a day for me.
Well, you have to up there in PDX, right?
Nah. I
You
mean,
doesn't actually take it off road.
I don't know what he does.
Oh, he's a city boy.
Oh, he's back.
He's back. Shh.
What are we saying?
Something about your gold wheels?
You like my wheels, dude?
No, more like your monster truck status.
Well, you can thank Vittorio for that.
What did I do?
I asked you what size wheels you are. I mean, they only come in one size from that website that I got them from Apex.
Oh,
Okay, so let's actually go back to what we were talking about pre-stream here, and just because you guys are the Super G guys, right? So,
yeah.
um,
Lane says gold is overrated. Like what? What?
I mean, you are the only car that has gold in our group.
It was a stock color on the wheels. It's just a throwback, man. It's not really like
Yeah.
it can't be overrated.
My last two FRS and H6 all had gold wheels on multiple sets of wheels.
Okay, fine.
My car is blue and gold. That's like
This is not
like
what
a
we were
thing.
talking about.
Okay,
we were
okay.
talking about competition. So the whole announcement of the whole competition cap is what we were talking about. Last week, or pretty early on last week, was it? Or I guess
Yeah, the beginning of this week.
we got the notification of the Super G kind of, this is how we're going to do the competition. Either of you guys want to just like highlight or hit on that, Shaine or Vittorio? Well, Vittorio knows nothing, apparently.
So, it went out that we were capping at 127. But I think there was a little misunderstanding in what was actually meant. We were set to cap the drivers that can make it to battles at 127. The registration is open for however many. So if we have 157 people, that just means 30 of them don't make it to battles. Just because, I mean, 4 brackets of 32s is already a lot. And if we add another bracket, it's going to be insane. I think at some point We are going to change it to where it's not going to be as many. So it'll become more of a best of the best. As like, for example, if we have 150 competitors register, 32 might be the only ones that get to battle. I don't know exactly at what point we'll get to that, but I know it's coming up soon.
Yeah.
So kind of like more cross game style, right?
Yeah, similar.
And that's kind of like that's what you would expect with an event of this caliber in any sport. If you're going to call it Worlds or whatever, I mean, this is the most important event, at least in the U.S. For the whole category. So yeah,
when
there's not many other sports where it's open invitation to that.
Yeah,
Right.
when we first started talking about it, when we got through the first few years, and then we decided we were going to try to tackle the Worlds thing, we said we're going to do at least 1 year of open, and then we'll kind of like pull the reins on it, because we want as many people as possible to get into the hobby. So, for example, if this is your first year and you make it to battles, great. That'll make you want to come back the next year. But the next year, it'll be much tighter. So you'll have that understanding, as opposed to this being your first year, you don't make battles and now you're all upset. Yeah.
You're building the player base, essentially.
Correct.
Like getting the people into it and everybody knowing what this is, and then eventually, tighten it up for sure. And I wanted to say, like, we talked about this a little bit, but I don't think most people really would have any problem with that event being capped based on some kind of criteria through the season. It was just the confusion of like what exactly does capped mean at first.
Yeah,
and like,
I mean, we have it also gives us a chance to figure out how we're going to work the whole international driver thing into the cap for next year.
Yeah.
And how we can figure out how to get them qualified, and
it
gave us some time, but it also set it up so where people can still come out and have fun.
Yeah, it would be nice. I think, thinking long term, it would be nice if each region had a protected number of spots in the event. But also, this time, it's not like it for everyone. It is a situation where you can still go down there and earn your spot. Everyone has the opportunity to do that. And that's all that was. I think the only concern was that people weren't going to be able to even get a chance to do that. Yeah. And the other point I would make, and I made this the last week we talked about this, but just if there is in the future criteria to even like if the criteria to qualify for this event changes in the future, ideally that is announced like before the regional series starts, so that everybody knows what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, that gives us between the end of October, for example, if we did it next year, that gives us between the end of October and end of January to kind of figure it out. And that's what we use the time for, to go back, recap the year, figure out what amendments need to be made, and what we're going to change for the next season, which usually starts in like March or February, depending on when the regions want to start their stuff.
Yeah. And can you just real quick, Shaine, can you kind of share with our chat like what your position is when all this stuff gets decided, and like what kind of standing you have for that?
I don't even know how I will word that. It's just I've been there so long that like when we're going through it, it's usually myself, Steve, Joey, Manny, and Colin. But for the most part, it's usually myself and Steve bouncing things off of each other and figuring out like, hey, what about this format? And he's like, let's see how that will work. And then maybe a couple days later, he's like, I don't think that will work. How about we alter that and make it this? So it's usually me and him. And then once we have something set or close to being set, then we'll take it to the other guys. And we're like, what do you guys think about this? And then we do like a whole vote thing and blah, blah, blah.
I was reading Sean Lewis's comment about making it make sense for people traveling. I do think there's some plus and minuses either way. Like this year, for instance, there is absolutely the possibility that you're gonna, some of us, I've dedicated a whole week to being down there, and there's the huge possibility that I could go and do 2 qualifying runs, and that could be it.
Right.
And yeah, that would definitely suck, but
It's a risk.
It is a risk that you have to take, and in the future, it will not only. I think that will help because there will be less people willing to risk that kind of investment if the outcome could be you do 2 laps and don't make it. That will help with having to cap the total entries, right? Less people will be willing to come, and also that will help.
But the thing is, we want them. We kind of want it the other way because we still want them to come, and try their luck.
Right.
So we don't want like them to get deterred if they don't make it. Still want you to come and try your luck. For example, the first time I went to YDM, that's traveling 12 hours, couple thousand miles. I didn't make battles, but in my head I was like, okay, well, that's not gonna stop me from coming back. I'll just come back next year and try harder.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We want more people to try harder if they don't make it, as opposed to be like, well, I'm not going to waste my time.
Right? I think that's totally fair. And for myself, I think even if that does happen to me, even if I only do 2 laps and don't make it, I know the most fun that I will have is going to be in the week leading up, and not necessarily during the 3 days of comp. Although I do love competition, obviously with the amount of people that are going to be there, that can be a bit of a drag, but you do have a good amount of time leading up to the event that is dedicated just to mostly having
fun. I think end of the day, just show up and do it. Like
show up, have fun.
When I did Indonesia, I was freaking nervous because the practice qualifying, I didn't even score good enough to make it into the battles, but I still showed up the next day and just went for it. Yeah.
Much like we actually have guys that are going to Irwindale the week after. So nice. In the same reason, like just going to watch is also a viable, like that's fun too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're going to see really high level RC drifting.
I know there's a
at least you get to drive on the track too.
Max, I think his name Max is coming out from New York. I'm like, hey, you competing? He's like, no, I'm not competing. I'm just coming out for the experience.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool because that's not awesome. Something that you'll ever forget.
Yeah.
And maybe the following year you want to try it.
Yeah. Just drive with Shaine, get some setup.
Yeah. I don't think like it's almost like a SEMA situation where you can come and meet all these people from all over the country that you've talked to or seen online. Like that, I know for myself, having done this podcast for a few, I don't know how many months now, like getting to meet all of our guests finally in person is going to be sick. Matt's being one of them.
It's honestly kind of what like kick-started this whole podcast thing. Like even though that John and I were doing it just kind of like the weekend, like the 2 guys thing before, it's grown to this because of SDC. Like without those connections that I've made there, and without the connections that I'm making and you're making, this wouldn't be possible.
I was sad you didn't interview me there.
Is this
is
this actually Junta in chat?
Yeah.
Junta.
Sick. What's up, dog?
We can't wait for those Modelos.
Oh boy.
Did he like the Modelos?
He loves them.
He loves
the Modelos. That's hilarious.
We changed the logo to say Junta.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
He made stickers right away.
Did you tell him there's like way better? There's more like.
Well, look, at that moment, they were Modelos that Shaine had picked up, and he left them in the car because obviously we can't be inside drinking them. And then we went a little bit out. We picked them up. They weren't the coldest because they were sitting for a little bit. But at that moment, it was like 5 or 6 of us, and we were like, "This is a good time. Like we're just bonding. Like nothing matters right now."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all about their fun.
Yeah.
It's amazing how warm of a beer you can drink when you're just out there with the boys.
Oh no, it wasn't that warm. Like
I
I'd
parked
probably
in the shade.
I'd probably spit it out.
I parked in the shade. It didn't get that hot.
Yeah.
Okay. Just catching up with the questions that are in chat here. I think there's only one that really came up here. Hey Shaine,
Alfredo.
do you know if the shoot, where is it? It was talking about HT3s. I think it's the the shark shafts in the HT3s.
Yeah, they do.
What's up, Alfredo?
Yeah, they do. I know somebody maybe like 2 weeks ago put them in a set of HG3s, and they were pretty straightforward. You didn't need a shaft guide or any of that stuff. So yeah, they do.
What's up, Wong?
Good fit. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's get to those burning.
You want the Discord questions?
Let's do it, dude.
Let's hit them with them, dude.
Here, let me invite the people.
Wrong.
Oh, don't want to give them that. That's the Google Meet.
Don't give them that.
Yeah, don't give them. I did one time before.
I know.
Okay, so if you aren't a part of the Discord yet, that's the link to the Discord. What we're doing is we're going through the topics and ideas section. Earlier this week, like yesterday, I posted if you guys have any questions for these two. So that's what we're going to do. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them there. I'm more likely to see them. I'll try to keep an eye out for them in chat, but I am going through the Discord at this point. So let's start off with your question, Vittorio. Where is Vittorio?
I am in Connecticut right now.
He's in Wisconsin.
Shane thought I was in Wisconsin the whole time.
You were in Wisconsin last week.
But I'll be in Wisconsin next week.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think the question here is why or what for. That's the question.
Wait, hold on. I want to. This is trivia for chat. Why is Vittorio in Connecticut?
Yes, the man is working.
I want to see if anyone can figure it out or knows. I would be.
And can we give a hint?
Give him a hint.
Leave.
Justin Pollock is also here.
This is a very popular location in Aceto.
Yeah. Chris Forsberg is here. I think Adam LZ is here.
A lot of drifters are there. Also, I do have to shout out. This is probably going to tank our audience, but there is a Maximum Driftcast live right now with LZ, so there's that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's fine. We're good.
But yeah, I'm here for Grid Life. So
I would have given bonus points for the track, but I will accept Grid Life as an answer.
Yeah. Well, so basically, my work, iBox signed on as a sponsor this year. So we are all at like the main Grid Life events, basically like all the festivals and stuff. And I am like the main media person at iBox. So I fly out and take photos, videos, and post them on social.
You know, if you ever need a secondary camera person, I know a guy.
I thought you were going to say if you need a secondary job, like.
Oh, no. This doesn't make money worth anything.
So I have some experience with an event like that. So what kind of mileage are we talking? How much are you tracking your steps every day?
My last one at Road America, I did.
Which is a huge track.
Yeah, I did with a lot of elevation, was about 20,000 steps every day. Yeah, and actually, so I used to like on these trips, like just like drink every night because we're bored and tired and just it's refreshing. But Road America is like the first one I was like, all right, not drinking at all this whole trip. But my friends drove 6 hours from Minnesota and brought a local Wisconsin beer. We're like,
that goes out the window pretty fast.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, we're gonna have one, just one. But yeah, it's been cool. Lots of
long days, a lot of time out in the sun.
yeah, I tanned a little bit. Like this is my actual color. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's nice to see like real drifting, racing and all that. So
it was. I was watching the live stream for Grid Life at Road America, and I was thinking, I was like, why would they even have drifting at that track?
yeah,
I didn't realize there was a go-kart track. So
yeah,
watching people try to drift the main track was pretty fun, and also looked terrifying.
yeah. Well, the guys from Road America said they're basically like bringing it back because drifting has taken off so much in the past couple years. So that's why they could justify it. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the comments. Sean said
it's not. I wouldn't say it's the best. Like I wouldn't say the main track is the best like drift circuit.
Oh no, it was huge. It's like too big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean said the beer's good out there, but it's heavy. But yeah, I guess that's another thing is I started like exercising and am on this fitness journey, so I cut out a lot of that.
Yeah.
So.
Good for you.
Now, if you want to help at Laguna again this year, go for it.
All right. Are we ready?
Next question.
Okay. Individual questions. Shaine, let's start off with you. Your current favorite body?
The 400Z is my favorite at the moment. I think I have 4 or 5 of them.
Is it because of ease,
Did
or
you
is
say
it because
4 or
it
5?
looks good?
Yeah, I have 4 or 5.
Jesus.
Like,
I don't have 4 or 5 bodies.
like, so there's one here, and then there's.
Can someone do the math on that? I don't want to pull out a
3.
calculator.
And then there's also a clear one over here in the bag still. Makes no sense.
He has a problem.
That is a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, I can't talk.
lately, I've also liked the Addiction D-Max S13. Trying to get back into like the longer bodies just to have a little more fun and not always be so like comp setup. So. Oh, and the S14.
Yes.
Like right now, 13,
Sean,
14, and 400.
Sean points out that you are the bane of all videographers at Super G because nobody knows what you're driving.
Only his close friends know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, they just jump out. Like sometimes I'll take 2 cars with 2 bodies on them and then randomly go to the car and grab an extra body that was in the trunk that I forgot was there and just start driving. And people are like, well, what are you driving? I'm like, oh, that car right there. Like,
By the way,
at our track, Jake he'll do like incognito body sometimes. It never takes me very long to realize who it is, but it's pretty funny.
I mean, he buys all of these bodies like from Bai, right?
Yeah.
Like one time he had just like this massive box of just random bodies that he got from Bai, and some of them were cool. I think I actually got one of them. My yellow 400Z, I think, was one of them.
Hey, Alfredo, what you mean by that?
You just said it means there's someone driving quickly. Damn, dude, chill.
You're like, watch it.
David, I have a JZX and it's a lot easier to get into the zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned that with the S13 and the S14. Like I don't have to drive it as deep to be all the way in the zone.
Yeah.
That's interesting because like I've been thinking the opposite end. Because of a shorter body, it's easier to stay in the zone because you don't have that much length to go.
I think
right.
If the distance from your rear tires to the like end of the body is longer, the chassis itself, it's effectively driving further
away
shallower,
from the
which is a slower speed to maintain, and then it's like slightly easier probably.
Yeah,
right?
you're not driving the rear wheels as deep into the zone.
Yeah.
Right.
Which has been an issue for me because I do find myself like constantly we have a lot of zones that are like there's no wall, so I'm often like really teetering the edge of being too off in the outer zone.
Yeah.
For example, if I drive the 400 and then go from the 400 to like the S13, it'll take me like 7 or 8 laps to stop hitting wall because I was like trying to drive it because there's no rear overhang.
Mm-hmm.
So then with the 13, the overhang's so long that I don't have to drive it as deep. I can put the tires on the front line of the zone and still fill the entire zone.
Okay. That's fun. Yeah. That's funny because it's like
It is funny.
It's the
I think
opposite thing of what I was thinking.
it's the opposite to a lot of the strategy that you have been seeing. Like the meta has not been super long bodies, but I think it's like kind of
It makes
personal
sense,
preference,
right?
relative kind of thing, right?
Like if you put me in a comp, I'm not driving a long body.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just because it's easier to like drive shorter, but I can't drive as aggressive because the rear overhang.
Right. Or even the front.
Yeah.
Oh, what is Jake saying? That pick Adam got of you chasing me, Logan. I'm 100% in the zone, like rear tire on. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Yes. with a short body, your front tire is almost on the line of the zone, like on the midpoint of the zone. It's like
Mm-hmm. And they transition differently, so
Yeah. So that's been the real learning thing. Finding a good body that you
Mhm.
drive well with.
That new addiction JZX is pretty nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like it's so stable.
and they're really fun.
What's up, Steve?
shout out Steve.
Yep.
Hey, Steve.
I don't know if this is Steve's first time in the chat, but
He
that's
made
pretty
it
cool.
just to watch us.
He must love you guys.
He does.
That's awesome. Kevin's never been in our chat before.
What about you, Vittorio? Favorite body?
Okay, so I'm just gonna list out my rotation.
Oh, great.
So I have a gray X Tech 1 GR86, a yellow GR86,
Okay.
a Super G GR86.
Yes,
Okay.
I knew this was coming.
Seeing
I
a pattern.
I have my new Supra. I have my JZX, and I have 2 more GR86s coming. One from Slide Customs and one from Josh G.
So that would be 2 from Slide Customs, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I have like a bunch of GR86s.
I had
Yeah.
to remind him.
Don't forget the S1535.
Oh yeah, my SR35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since I think the episode that you were on, Vittorio, I've been following Slide Customs, and I'm like every day he posts something. I'm like, Jesus, dude, that's insane.
Oh,
That
I
guy's
think
crazy talented.
his next one for us, I think, is gonna be pretty fire.
Hell yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm excited to see it too.
Yeah. So I would say my favorite is GR86, but it's not because
You think so?
Yeah, because it's not because it's like how short it is. It's because I had 2 FRSs
Mm.
and I
So
didn't get a
sentimental.
GR86 again.
And there's
Sentimental
not a
value.
WRX yet.
Yeah.
Let's see. David in chat. He's an S15 fanboy. Does anyone know what the shortest S15
The
is?
Yokomo one, the new
Yokomo
one.
Yeah.
Jeff.
The Yokomo one, then the Rev D one, then it's the Addiction one. If we're basing it off a limb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect. What time from Alfredo does the Rev D event start? Anyone know?
Steve saying 6 p.m.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, 6 on Friday.
They may want to change the layout.
Oh,
Yeah, Keith's visiting soon.
Let's see. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I feel
Okay.
like they would have to change layout. They can't be driving the overdose layout.
I mean,
yeah,
if they want to do the labor, you know.
yeah.
Right?
Right, free track changes. Fly in, do the track change.
Well, I think it would be like track change then track change, then track change.
Yeah, that's a lot of track changes for Super G, I feel like.
Yeah.
In like what? In a 3-month span?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah. Which is final round.
Yeah. Steve does it's a lot for him because he does like almost all of the layouts and stuff himself.
Oh wow.
Because none of us are good enough to.
The one time we helped, Shaine broke my servo.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Like I did that. Wait. What servo was it?
A Potava CD700.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That was an accident.
I think we heard about this last time.
Yeah.
It jumped over the rail, or the rail jumped over a rail. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's impressive though, because like any of the Futaba servos are like super
No,
torquey.
like
No,
it was a
this is-
steel rail that like flew into the car
Oh,
Yeah.
and then got wedged into the car.
So it locked the servo, and the servo just heated up and died.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Like when it comes to like layouts and stuff, every layout that you see where the lines look really good is all Steve by himself.
Yeah, we're still working on that. There are those of us that can do straighter lines than others, but I'm constantly like either thinking about designing or searching. Like there definitely is like tape applicators for the floor that do like smooth lines, but they're all like crazy expensive. So I'm like, oh, we got to build one, and it's just like
That's Jake.
Shit.
Yeah,
Jake,
no,
Jake
like-
is like on point for that.
Jake's pretty good at it. Yeah,
Even the
I think I'm pretty
curves,
good at it.
I have no idea how he gets the curves so nice without them bunching up or like I
Yeah.
just look at him.
Honestly, a lot of times too, like curves are almost easier than just a straight line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Patience.
No
Yeah.
patience.
Yeah.
Patience and experience, I think.
Yeah, we use the string line and draw it with chalk.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying we need to do that for a while.
Yeah.
And
The hardest-
we do want to make our one sweeper end like permanent,
Really?
semi-permanent.
Nice.
Like the far end?
One of the ends, just so it's like easy.
Yeah.
That's always done.
Well, I think every track keeps like one
Huge
turn
sweeper.
that's about
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
Like GGT has that one going into the in and out. Super G has the main big sweeper.
Oh, by Scale Town.
Steve, that's awesome to
That-
hear from you, by the way.
Yes, we've got approval.
Jake, we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
He's not a man of many words, so if he says it, he
Yeah.
means it.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked to those guys a lot when we were down there that one day. They let us in to drive a little bit, and we talked as much as we could about track stuff.
Yep.
On
I
big
see.
sweepers, yes. But
Yeah,
small
big sweeper,
sweepers-
bust out the string. The smaller stuff, do it by hand. That makes a lot of sense.
So when are you guys coming up, Steve, Alfredo?
Yeah,
I can't make it. I tried.
I know. It's all good. Next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's plenty more events that are coming. That's
I
for
think
sure.
sometime between let's shoot for sometime between October and end of the year.
Yeah. As long as my bodyguard can come with me, it'll be cool.
You have wait, what? You have a bodyguard? Are we talking about like your track watch, like the person that tells you to get out of the way?
Yeah.
You know, when we travel, he tells people that I'm his bodyguard. Like the black and Asian Robin Big.
Okay.
You know, I was gonna make the Robin Big joke, but I'm glad I let you do it.
Okay, still moving along in the chat from Panda at Apex. Jarvis XX or Rad? Or do you care?
I think we know this answer from.
I
Yeah.
think I run the XX because I like the 7.4 and a little bit more power. But honestly, like the Rad isn't bad. I have it on like my mess around chassis and on one of my crawlers. So
Yeah, same thing here. I have the XX on most of my chassis, and I have one Rad.
I mean, for cost difference now, it's only what, like $50 difference now, like ish.
Yeah.
It's almost like, would you rather have a twin turbo motor or an NA motor? I get the twin turbo for $50 more. I'm gonna go twin turbo.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's what the X's are for.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Can't wait for the triple X premiere. Just kidding.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
Agile versus Fledge, torque rotor, RPM type rotors. What's your feel?
I am personally an agile guy. When I first started, I got along better with the Fledge, but I think as my throttle got better, I started using the agile more. So I think the Fledge is easier to use, but the agile, when you can like really modulate the throttle, has a little bit of an advantage in my preference. Yeah, Alfredo got me to switch to agile, but I wasn't ready yet, like back then.
I think it seems to be just the meta is definitely agile.
Yeah, I think
a lot of people still buy Fledges, but whenever you ask someone like Vittorio or Alfredo, they always say agile.
Yeah, but I think a part of it is also just being able to hear the motor helps a lot. Yeah,
mine is certainly the loudest. I think my car might be the loudest at the track, and I don't think I'm the only one with an agile. Obviously, there's a lot of factors, but that's definitely one of them.
Yeah. So for a rotor question, when I'm using my 13.5, I'm using stock rotor. That's my 11.5. I'm using the 38 rotor.
Yeah. Right on. Wait until you drive at Super G, Logan, because like I couldn't hear my car at all.
They all have agiles, so.
Like you can't hear anything.
When everybody's running agile, I pull out my OD motor, and I can hear it above everything.
Yeah, I will say in Asia, I saw a lot more of the Fledge.
Yeah,
really.
The Fledge is a smoother motor. It's just smooth. So if you like really smooth driving, it's the Fledge. But if you like to be somewhat aggressive, because the agile has a little more of a torque sense in it, even with the stock rotor, you're gonna like the agile.
Yeah.
Okay, so next motor.
Shaine ran Fledge for a while, right?
Yeah, I still have 2 Fledges, 3 Fledge, or I have a Fledge on the GRK, and then the other 2 cars have agiles. Or Fledge on the GRK, a OD motor on the RD2, and then the agile on the Shark.
Is there a sound difference with the rotors?
Yeah.
One has an actual like mechanical fan on it.
Oh, do you mean like between the optional rotors?
Yeah, between the optional rotors.
I think the sound is more from how your gearing is than the actual rotor.
RPMs.
It's the RPM gauge.
Yep.
How many RPMs can you get?
Like if you run the LB28 with like a really small pinion and high spur, it's pretty loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have the torque rotor and the agile. I don't remember what LV rating that one is, but
45,
like 24 pinion in a stock spur. So, but it's still pretty loud.
Yeah.
Good to know I can make it louder if I want to. I'm gonna put a baseball card in the spur gear.
You go back to the old school where you just add the
milk carton.
No, the long grub screw to the pinion.
Yeah,
it's not legal.
Well, if they're not comping,
it's not legal.
You're just driving around. It's either the long grub screw or the small zip tie.
Yeah,
in between.
We should put playing cards on the wheels.
Like
that's what I was saying.
See how that sounds.
Nah, use the zip ties.
Oh yeah, zip ties on the wheels. Oh, that would be a good prank. I'm gonna do that.
What is that? My car's broke. Okay, so this was joked about in the chat. Raising Cane's or In-N-Out for quick, easy food near Super G.
Tacos La Carreta.
Yeah.
What?
So none of those.
Tacos La Carreta.
Oh, okay.
best tacos,
It's about 15 minutes, but
best burritos.
Like 15-minute walk.
No, drive.
Oh,
Best quesadilla.
where are you? This changes. I'm going to change the question. Where do you, if you need to go get food and get back to the track as quickly as possible, where are you going?
Wendy's.
Wendy's. All right.
Cane's.
Not bad.
Running
Wingstop.
11.5 agile. Shaine is running 10.5 or 11.
My agile is 11.
Okay.
Sean, Chipotle order. It's 4 minutes away.
Nah, no Chipotle.
We don't
Only
do
one-
Chipotle.
Only one bathroom there.
Yeah, like if we're getting burritos, we're gonna make the drive down to Whittier and get it,
Yeah.
and then get judged by Shaine's order.
And somehow at the place you guys go to, you're less likely to get E. coli.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really
No, it's good. Like literally, we flew down from Texas, and we went to Super G. I don't remember why, but we just went like straight from the airport, and then
Well, we went
we're
to
like,
we
you
went
guys
from the
hungry?
airport to my house, which is like 20 minutes before Super G. Got into 2 different cars, and then went to Super G, and then came back the other way to get tacos
Burritos.
or burritos and quesadillas.
Yeah. This will fall into one of our favorite moments question, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I like Alfredo's answer, just DoorDash. You never have to leave.
If
DoorDash is
anybody-
expensive.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't afford
dude.
that. But
If
Alfredo's
anybody's-
baller.
if
He has a
anybody's
Tesla.
flying in and they're getting a rental car from the airport, stop at Johnny's in Culver City. Best
do you guys fly into Burbank or LAX?
LAX.
LAX.
So what I'm understanding here is that if I want to do a side hustle down at Super G, I just need to take everyone's order and
Exactly.
go be like personal
Yeah.
Uber.
Little
Yes.
food run,
Yeah.
little DoorDash.
I was
Little Adam
thinking
Dash.
about I was
Me and
thinking
my
about
Corolla.
offering my new apartment as like a Airbnb. but like you have a personal driver to take you to and from the track.
You should sell that. You should sell that as like, come hang out with Vittorio.
No, I don't want that.
I was like, I will be gone.
Yeah, just, like go cheaper than the hotel and I'll have some money.
No, you don't. You don't even need to do that, right? You can be more expensive than the hotel, offer the car service, and be made. Like you,
and
Yeah.
continental breakfast.
Yeah, you show up when I show up and leave when I leave.
Hey, Dow, we can get Johnny's whenever you want. I'm just not driving over there.
Wait, why am I not invited to Johnny's now?
I don't know. Steven's like, oh, Johnny's?
Oh, so funny story since Logan left. So Shaine went to go pick up Durkee, and since he's picking up Joe Durkee at LAX,
Mhm.
I just randomly put in the group chat. I was like, "Hey Shaine, since you're gonna be there, you're gonna get us all Johnny's, right?" And soon it was just like everyone just went with it and placed an order,
I got
oh
bullied.
man,
and Shaine was forced to bring food.
Yeah, I ordered. I was like, ma'am, can I order 12 sandwiches? She's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, they're like $21 a sandwich or something like that.
what?
Bro, it's the best pastrami you will ever have in your life.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, like it literally melts.
Ooh.
Yeah. So whenever we go that way, definitely make a stop.
Johnny's. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Johnny's pastrami.
okay. Mental notes happening here.
Or if you have time, you can go to like Pasadena or Burbank and go to Hot Wings Cafe.
Hot
Yeah.
wings.
Shh, he's back.
Shh, shh.
Okay.
Oh, I want to tease this. If you come to Drift to Death, there's a high likelihood that
nice.
you can get one of these bad boys. If you do something cool.
What if we're there in Spirit?
Airlines?
Yeah.
No, not Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, like
It's
we
like
can we'll have the TV. We'll do a Google Meet with everybody that wishes they could be there.
yeah.
Just throw you guys all up on the TV.
I wonder if that's why that airline's called that. You'll get there and you're scared.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I rode Spirit all the way to Florida. Okay. All the stories that you hear are true.
Thoughts and prayers airline.
My minimum now is American Airlines.
Ooh.
Like,
I've been a Southwest boy my whole life.
But wait, Vittorio, aren't you? Your job is taking you to these places, right?
yes.
Yeah.
But like I said, my minimum is American Airlines.
Oh, you know, iBox flying them out on that private charter, dude.
No, we don't have that.
Is it first class or is it coach?
Just main cabin.
Ah.
Yeah.
Business class.
Gotta ask for that upgrade, man.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, you'd rather spend that money on the food,
Right.
Backs. Yeah.
you know?
Or lodging. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, unless you have, like let's say, like, you fly to Japan and you decide to fly first class and it's like 10 grand. It's like, unless your points are covering that 10 grand, like, I'd rather spend the 10 grand in Japan.
Yep. Yep.
Apparently, Alfredo's never heard of Johnny's or never had Johnny's.
Alfredo only has Jollibee, chicken wings, chicken nuggets, chicken tenders.
He's a tendy guy. We got a couple tendy guys.
Yeah, ask Alfredo what he ate in Indonesia.
Oh. All the secrets. All the secrets.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggies.
Nuggies and tendies, baby.
No, okay, but actual nuggets, like the fake meat things, like the ground up processed things, or like
Dino
chicken
nuggets.
tenders.
I mean, that's what nuggets are.
Yeah.
No bones. Anything with no bones.
Oh, traditional wings or bone out? Or
Traditional.
always.
Traditional.
Okay.
But
Traditional.
bone out does not count.
Yeah, that's not
chicken nugget.
wings. That's nuggets.
Yeah, that's
You
chicken
are
nugget.
adult.
Just making sure.
Unless it's boneless. Like
Jose.
Tuesday,
Jose,
and
get
they're like
out.
Yeah,
25 cents.
get the boneless people out of here.
Yeah, tell them to grow up.
Yeah, grow up. Grow up. Eat wings with bones in them.
Yeah.
We say
Be a
grow
man.
up, but we're playing with
Okay.
RC cars.
Be a man.
I will say, have you guys had chicken feet before?
No.
No.
No? Like just grossed out by it or just never had the opportunity?
I've just never tried it.
Okay.
Joey will bring some to finals if you'd like.
We have a group chat, and Joey will just randomly put in a picture of chicken feet. It's
Oh,
like,
man.
oh, these look good. I'm like, no, they don't.
If we have a group that goes to dim sum at SDC, I'm gonna be a part of that group. But okay, so I took a friend over to dim sum one day, and I ordered chicken feet, and he's just trying to be nice, he's trying to be cool, trying to fit in, but he's eating the chicken bones like from the feet. Like, wait, what are you doing? Don't do that. It's okay if you spit out your bones. It's totally okay. But yeah,
I've had fried knuckles before, but no chicken feet. And even fried knuckles were nasty.
oh, I've never had knuckles.
Yeah, I ordered them thinking that they were popcorn chicken. And I got it, and I bit into it. And I'm like, why is this so crunchy? And then my buddy was like, "Oh, you don't like the knuckles?" I'm like, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, I don't like the knuckles."
You know, Rocky Mountain oysters come deep fried too,
Yeah.
which they're not that bad.
I was trying to impress a girl like a few years ago, and it was at a Chinese restaurant. And I honestly had no idea what I was ordering. And then it shows up, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" Like, it's
Was it
like
tripe?
no, it was like a cold chicken.
Oh yeah.
It's
Like
so
like
weird.
on the plate. Ooh, no, not balut.
no, it's like a cold, like just steamed chicken, I think.
Just cold chicken.
Yeah,
it's just like-
it's actually served cold, right?
Yeah,
But when it's on the plate, it kind of looks gross because it looks
yeah.
Yep.
like kind of clear, transparent,
But like,
white.
yeah, you just see the skin; it's all yellow, and I'm like,
Oh.
"What am I eating?" you just like gotta own up to it. It's like, yeah, it's good.
Jose,
I don't understand. What is?
I'm confused. Jose, you don't eat chicken with wings, but you eat deep fried gizzards?
Oh man, chicken hearts.
I still don't understand the thought process of I'm gonna impress this girl by ordering this random item off the menu, and then you do have to eat it. It's definitely worse if you don't eat what you order.
But I mean, did you use the garlic? Like
I did.
Okay.
I did. So then I learned how to eat it properly after that.
Right?
And then I was like, okay, this is good.
Was she
like,
impressed? Yeah.
I tried to eat it without the sauces and stuff. And I'm just like, all right, I look like I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, honestly, the best thing that you should order is probably like the it's like Peking duck, but you order a duck and it comes to you in like 3 different plates. One of the like first one is going to be like it's like a soft dough that you kind of build your taco in, or it's basically a taco where you put the duck in and then like lettuce and whatnot. Those are good.
Sounds good. We could talk about food all night.
Yeah. How about instead of that, we talk about qualifying rituals?
Okay.
Yeah. This is
Shane
good.
can go first.
Huh?
Shane can go first.
All right.
I know
It's
it's
sound really weird, right? So I come downstairs. I lean on the pole that's right in front of the sweeper. I fart. I shake my leg to get it out of my pants leg. And then I take a deep breath. That's my ritual.
All right.
What if the
Good to
fart
know.
isn't
Now I
there?
know where not to stand before qualifying. If I see Shane coming down the stairs,
That
off.
is my ritual.
Coming down the stairs, farting.
No. It doesn't. I don't come down the stairs. It's. I have to get to the pole first, or else the ritual doesn't
he
work.
needs to pull the fart.
Yeah. That's why if somebody's standing there, I always say, "Hey, I'm going to stand right here. You might want to slide to the side or something."
Shane double zeroed because Wong scared him when he stood
Yeah.
next to the pole
Long scared the crap out of me.
during his run.
Yeah, I was going through the sweeper, and I like turned my head, and his head was like right next to me like this, and I turned like this, and I'm like, oh shit, and then I ended up hitting the wall.
Nice. We've resolved this issue, but we used to have a fun game called "What Will Happen When a Buggy Hits the Wall While You're Qualifying." Because there's the buggy track right behind where you're standing to drive on our track, and when they go, the straightaway is right there. So when they go down the straightaway, and even if they just touch the pipe, it like rattles, it hits off the plywood, and it makes a huge noise. And unfortunately, James has had to deal with that a couple times. It's the worst thing in the world. We finally were able to get the buggy track to close down.
We've had cars launch during quali.
I
Yeah,
got
like
one
someone's
better than
nervous
that.
trigger.
Oh, really?
So
Jeez.
before Super G moved into the big spot,
Yeah.
when they were in the back corner in the little place, the train ran right along the building. So you'll be qualifying, and then you just hear,
Yeah.
and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the luck of the draw.
Yeah. On my worst days of qualifying, you will definitely hear just like it sounds like, I don't know, like a machine gun trigger, just like you can hear my fingers shaking.
Nah, that was me before.
I'm gonna
gotten
turn that
better at it,
into
yeah.
a sample.
That's
I was-
crazy sometimes.
I was double zero Vittorio for a while. Right,
I've
Shane?
done that.
Yeah.
I've been having some good qualifying lately. It's mostly like the whole day leading up, because for me usually the qualifying laps are like the most nervous I'll be. So it's usually like, try to avoid caffeine in the morning. Make sure you're all good on the bathroom front, and then we have like a fun game of like, what at what order are you going to be in the lineup? Because I don't really like going early,
I
because
like going early.
I do like going early to get it over with, but I also feel like you don't you're just not as likely to score as high as the. It's
Yeah,
harder to get top qualifier if you go early.
Well, you put it yourself in this mindset that if you're qualifying early, the track is still the same for when you practice. That's what I just tell myself.
If I qualify early, I'm fine. Like I just drive to drive. But if I qualify towards the bottom and I already know where other people are at, then I usually get screwed. That's how I double zeroed the last time. Because I was like, okay, this person has a 90. This person has a 90. I gotta push it to get way higher.
Yeah. I think it's definitely
double zeroing.
I have mentally it's better to be early, but the results show for myself that it's better to be later, because even though mentally it's worse, the scoring is usually better.
From the other side, yeah. It's kind of like if you were to ask someone to rate a series of products from 1 to 10, 10 being the best. The first one's never going to be just like 10 right out the gate.
Yeah, when you go super early, it's just they haven't seen a lot yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that's the difference here. Like we've had people who go like 6th out of like 50 something drivers, and that person will score a 92. And then the next super high one will be like a 90, and that doesn't come to like the 51st driver. So it's like we try to keep everything exactly the same. Yeah. When you're qualifying and you already know what other people got, I feel like you push yourself a little harder. Yeah. And then it opens up the range.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
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 See what Sean Lewis saying. The last 3 rounds have qualified later on, and it has thrown me off. My stress goes up and down in waves, and by the time I'm up, I'm exhausted.
Take a nap.
Mentally, for the most part, I definitely prefer going earlier. I don't like being like first or second, but earlier is definitely better than like later.
Yeah, honestly, Sean, take a nap. Like I don't know if you've seen me. I've fallen asleep.
Well, here's this Vittorio from Panda, whoever Panda is. But that's, also, I feel
that's Dow.
I feel inadequate when I qualify right after Alfredo.
Yeah, that can be tough too. If you're like right after someone who you think is the best driver, it's like, oh shit, or someone who's good. You're like, oh, that guy's really good, and I'm next. Good luck. It's like, okay.
Yeah, Alfredo knows. When we were in Indonesia, our venue was like the hotel was above it. So after a driver's meeting, I went to my room and I took a nap.
That'd be so cool. I think have a pager, like it just buzz when you're ready to go.
Well, I had the live stream going, just watching. But I set an alarm.
I did that when we did YDM. I just went upstairs to the carpet track and sat down and took like a 40-minute nap.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got sleep, dude.
Yeah.
Shake the nose.
That's a challenge that I think a lot of the regions outside of LA deal with, is that we our first competition this year was 23 people or something. Do you remember, Adam?
I'm sorry, I was reading a different question. What was the question? Do you remember
how many drivers we had in round 1?
I can look it up.
It was like 24 or something. So it's just like a lot of people. I think it's probably fair. Like I would guess a lot of the regions outside of California are roughly similar. So like we're not used to big competition like full day. I mean, we open the doors at 10 and we're out of there by 5 o'clock, if not way earlier.
Yeah, I think for us it's been 50 plus people in the last few rounds. So
we average
that's crazy.
55 every round.
I think there's obviously home court advantage is one thing, but also the advantage of like you're used to a bigger day is nice.
Yeah.
But we only had 21 on round 1.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, I think last Sunday was it was 19 people, I think. Or no,
17.
17. So
I think as far as qualifying ritual though, I used to have big sticks before quali, like from the ice cream truck.
So that's a question too.
Yeah, so
it's random.
So there's a photo or video of me like eating 2 big sticks at the same time. And that was my first time not double zeroing. So just kept it going.
But it was also, I think the big stick coincided with after like that month boot camp that you and Chris went through.
Yeah.
You guys were just driving every single
Okay,
day.
but that's gonna be the favorite moment question. So you can't go into that.
Yeah, you guys are answering multiple questions already.
Yeah.
Like,
we're just talking. Should we go on to that question then?
Favorite moment or favorite ice cream?
Mine's the big stick.
Who's favorite ice cream?
Ice cream.
I,
Okay, let's do ice cream first.
I do root beer floats all the time.
Yeah. Big stick. And I'll have like 3 of them.
So I've never heard of a big stick.
It's like a
Pineapple,
mango.
strawberry, mango.
Yeah.
Okay.
Popsicle.
Popsicle that's in the shape of like a
Big
tube.
stick. Yeah.
Like a tube.
Oh, is it one of like the push pop deals?
No.
It's
Oh,
It's just in a
solid.
plastic wrap.
Okay.
Yeah, it's solid, but it's like the shape of like it's almost like if you poured ice cream in a paper towel container or the little center thing
Yeah.
and let it dry and it was solid. It's like that size.
It's a big
weird.
stick.
Yeah.
Let me try to find a picture.
Alfredo. We always end up back on food.
Yeah.
I think he's hungry.
Looks
Oh,
like
one of
this.
those. Yeah. Okay.
It's like
Oh,
this.
okay.
But yeah.
I was starting to get worried as I Googled this. Like,
Yeah, don't Google double fisting big sticks. Don't do that.
oh, wait. Okay. Yeah. What was the other one? Ong.tech1 drift.
Charles.
We already answered it. Well, for the most part. How do you train for endurance during STC events? Take a nap.
Not that serious.
Take a nap.
Yeah, take a nap.
I don't get to take naps.
You
Well,
really need to
that's
sleep,
your
take
own
a nap.
problem, Shane.
Yeah, I usually get there at 9, 10 in the morning and then leave. So I just treat myself like it's a Vegas trip or something. It's just up early, sleep late, and then that following Monday I'm off every year. And I sleep the entire day.
I like Dow raises a good point of if you do fall asleep, there will be pictures of you sleeping in the group chat later. We're big on that too.
Well,
Yeah.
I won't fall asleep because I snore extremely loud, and that's the last thing I want.
So the
you will
video
though?
of you snoring.
Yeah, video and audio of me snoring floating around the internet. Nah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
So-
If I want to now I'm treating a video of you snoring as like a Pokemon. I want to catch that, and then we'll use that as our starting tone.
More loud.
It's loud. Vittorio will tell you it's loud.
He fell asleep on the plane. I thought someone was dying.
Oh no.
Is there something wrong with the plane, or is
Okay.
it blowing?
So let's go to that. Your favorite memory part. This is from Sean Lewis.
Should I go, you want to go first, Shane, or me?
I don't know. I have a lot.
All right, you're still thinking about it.
Vittorio's already queued up. He
Come
knows.
up with one because I've been around for so long that like they all kind of just run into each other.
So what's your
You-
favorite?
I don't have a favorite.
Okay, I have one. Only because I think it was emotional for both of us. So I think it was last year in May. Me and Chris went for the whole month, like every day at Super G. It was before the comp. Just went every single day. And we both got into top 16 for qualifying, which was dope. So I was already happy with that. Then the comp just keeps going. And then I'm like, oh man, I'm in the top 4. And then in my head, I was like, I'm about to Adam LZ this thing because he just won like that round prior with RTR or whatever. And
In New Jersey.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, then me and Chris, I think I battled Brett, and then I had to battle Chris for finals. Chris hit the wall like right away, and I was like, he did not have to give me the win just to annoy him. But yeah, I think that was like special moment because it's the first win. Like I teared up, gave Chris a hug, and like Chris shows no emotion, so he was just like,
high five, bro.
But the current ongoing favorite one is so that burrito place you're talking about. Joey would randomly send a photo of the same burrito that he had for like 3 months ago, just like out of nowhere, and be like, and it's like a script. So him and Steve, so Joey sends a photo, and then Steve says, "Oh, you guys went?" And then Shane would be like, "What the heck?" Like, no invite. But yeah, just like random moments like that. It's nice.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like just the inside joke that you all know what's happening.
Yeah, and I guess the other one was when we made the trip to Rolling Garage. So Chris lost his keys, and all our cars were at Jason Fordyce's house. And keep in mind, we're 7 hours from Rolling Garage. Get back to SoCal, and we go to Chris's car, and he's like, nothing's opening. So we're like, uh-oh. So then we started like dissecting the photos because we took photos, and he usually has his keys on a carabiner. And I noticed like while we were on I-5, like it wasn't in his pant shorts anymore. So I was like, dude, you must have dropped it when you went to the bathroom or something.
That is some detective work.
Yeah, so we do that, and then we get to Super G. Chris lives nearby Super G, so we're like, okay, your uncle will drive you the spare key, and then you can get your car back later when we go home. We get to Super G, and then I check the seat again, and I'm like, oh, there's his key. And me and Jason don't live close to Super G, so
it's been here the entire time.
Yeah, so it was in Jason's truck the whole time between the seats. And then the whole time, like on the way home, Chris is just like, I really don't like you guys. Yeah.
I mean, teamwork. That was a lot of teamwork.
Yeah.
Okay. Pop in the other Sean Lewis question. What are some positive things you would tell new people thinking about getting into the hobby? And
Wait, hold on.
Oh, Shane didn't get to share.
Oh.
Yeah, we gotta. I mean, I want to answer this too. Damn.
Oh, fine.
But Shane first.
I don't know. Maybe my favorite was the first year of finals. Probably because it was like the first time, like you would see people like come out randomly here and there, but the first finals was the one where you got to see like a lot of the people in one place.
Yep.
But for me, every year finals is like that. It's just you get to see people that you only talk to online or just random. They're like, oh, that's you. You get to put a face to the name.
Yeah.
And I think everybody for the most part is usually happy and having fun, which is almost like a 3-day party if you don't take the competition part too serious.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's probably my favorite. It's just everybody getting out, everybody having fun, everybody meeting each other, talking crap about each other, eating tacos, hot dogs, and everything else.
Hell yeah. I've been saying that for months. I'm so excited to meet everybody this year. That's what I'm most looking forward to.
Not the hot dogs.
Seeing all you guys in person. And I do love hot dogs.
I'm telling you, you're gonna have the time of your life. Like I
believe it.
What is it? Thursday is the meet and greet.
Yeah.
So you'll be here before then, but
yep.
When people start filtering in, you're like, man, this is a lot of people.
Yep.
So the amount of driving you may do on Thursday, unless if you're really focused, is gonna be like very minimal because you're gonna be talking up a storm.
And don't forget about all the late nights that you can have over at GGT and all the.
Yeah, obviously we have GGT trips planned too. I fully expect my voice to be gone by like Friday probably.
I give you Thursday at 5. Oh no, because that's when the thing starts. So maybe Thursday by 10. You're gonna need some like honey and lemon and a lot of other stuff. Because there's people this year coming from everywhere. Like it's going to be
it's gonna be crazy,
insane.
All right, can I do mine now?
Yes,
Yeah.
So my first one is I have two. My first one is up here. We have a show. We have like a expo. It's the Northwest Hobby Model Expo. It's up in Monroe, Washington. It's literally right next door to Evergreen Speedway where they do the FD event.
Yep.
And it's like a 3-day just expo. They have in the main hall, they have an RC drift track, they have excavator stuff, they have a lake set up, there's a flying area, there's mini Z, there's trains.
It's an indoor lake, by the way. Like
all indoor, all indoor.
You said excavator set up?
Yeah.
Bro, I want to go to one of those.
They got excavators out the ass. There's literally an indoor lake. They're doing battleships and everything.
Highest like the mini battle bots are there.
Battle bots. And so it's a huge show that we do every year. I've only been there one year, and we had similar to like a Super G final situation. Like a lot of people, obviously all the guys from Washington, a lot of the guys from Oregon, even a bunch of big group of guys from Canada came down. And one of the nights I think it was the Friday night. We went, as you do, after the show ended that day. We went out for a meal with a bunch of the people. A lot of the Canadian guys, or at least one of them, joined up with us. This would be Ray, and so we're just eating dinner, and it's a tap house type place. So we're having a few beers as you do, and it's only right down the street from the hotel. So we walk home, and on the way out, first this kicked off the whole vibe of the walk. I don't know if Jake even wants me to tell you this story, but we'll say one of our members walked out, and I turned, like, we're walking down the street at this point. I turn around and I see this guy who will, Jake. This is Jake. He still has a glass pint in his hand, walking down the street, and I turn around and was like, oh shit, okay, cool. And at that point, we're kind of like we're passing by a gas station, so naturally, like, we all kind of pile into the gas station. We all pick up some beers, whatever. We leave, and then obviously, like, we're walking home. We got like half a mile to walk, so I just pull a can off and crack it, and we're just hanging out. We're walking, and meanwhile, we have Ray with us, who's from Canada. So we're walking down. We like go along a side road off, because Monroe basically has one main road that goes through it. That's where all like the hotels and restaurants are on, and then there's like shopping centers and stuff. And we're going down a back road, like it's like a back road that parallels the main road, but it's behind like the first layer of stuff. We're all like, all of us are drinking from containers, whatever. Jake has a pint glass. And we're walking, and this cop pulls around the corner and turns on to, like, in front of us, turns on to the side road. And we're walking, and all of us were like, it was just like that moment of like, oh yeah, just be cool. You know what I mean? So we all just kind of like put our hands down, like try to hide what you can, do you can, look inconspicuous. This cop 100% knew what we were doing. Like, it was very obvious, but I get very nervous. I'm like, oh shit, we're about to get busted. So we're all just walking, and cop just goes right by us, doesn't turn, nothing, just drives right by us, and we get past him. And I think one of us, it might have been me, I just go like, "Woo, that was a close one, boys." And Ray's with us, and he looks at me, and he's like, "Oh, is there not an open container law in the USA?" And we're like, absolutely not. And I think, like, just he had assumed, like, because of the way we were acting, that there was. And basically we almost got Ray deported. Now, I can't advocate for any of this type of behavior, but that was we had met Ray a few times at that, like, they've come down for events and stuff, but it wasn't like, we're good buddies with Ray, but we're not like, we don't know each other very well. So that was one of my favorite moments, just because he was like, it was just a situation where like he totally thought we were chilling because we all just were so nonchalant about it. The fact that we probably came very close to getting Ray deported. That was fun.
So what I'm hearing is that we need to have Ray on and then have a scene
I would love to have
about.
Ray on. Ray's
So
an interesting cat.
remember that one time where we almost got you deported.
And you had no idea. And then the second one is just from this season. Like Vittorio, it's my first win. I had done probably 6 comps in the region, like one or two from last year. We had a series before where I did okay, and the first round of this year I got TQ and won the event, and I was pretty happy with that one. That was cool.
Oh, double banger.
Yeah, got a perfect round. It's been pretty dog shit since then, but you know.
I mean, if you watched your Instagram, like, it's probably the greatest Instagram, like all rounds. That's great.
Yeah, this week I was pretty happy with that one.
Don't feel bad. I
don't. It's fine.
My goal in this is like always to qualify like high. So like we've only done 3 rounds so far. So the first one I qualified second, which kind of pissed me off. The second one I TQ'd, and then the third one I double zeroed. And it's like, bro, what the hell is going on here? Like, this is the biggest mind screw of all time.
Yeah. I think
this hot
year
during cross games.
Yeah, and I didn't. Hey, yeah, I didn't do hot in the cross games, but I made it to battle. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
this year I think I've got like 1, 2, 3, and as far as qualifying, like all of the top 5 or so, and then also have a double zero. It's just, yeah, it is what it is.
Jake said you peaked at round 1.
I did. I absolutely did. That's 100% accurate. I'm doing worse now than I was before I won. But it's all good. It's fun still.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for Drift to Death. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We got some killer drivers coming out, so it's gonna be sick.
Just a party, like no competition, just a party.
Match 30s are always fun. Like the Sunday after cross games was insane.
Probably the best day of that weekend.
It was just nonstop driving and hanging out and having fun. Yeah. But I mean, Saturday was also a ton of fun too. Because they have what do they call it, Vittorio? The knockdown system.
What?
The knockdown system that they use. So you
I don't know. I wasn't on that list.
You can literally see yourself getting kicked off.
Yeah,
it's the most anxiety creating thing I've ever been a part of in my life.
It's like what's that game show? Family Feud. You know how like the scoring is? It was like that.
At one point, I was like, they're like, okay, what was it? The top 16 or something like that. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm sitting at number 13 with like 12 drivers left. Whatever. Numbers are in my favor. Or like it was like maybe like 15 drivers. I'm like, numbers in my favor. I know who's driving, blah, blah, blah. And I just start seeing my name go, doop, doop.
Oh,
doop,
yeah.
doop,
Yeah.
Doop, doop.
The whole, that was definitely the most confusion as someone who's watching the live stream is like, people that I thought were good were not good.
Yeah, it's
like the second round, it was just like if you didn't qualify, top 8 or something, it was like, all right, clean slate, start all over.
Yeah, the thing is like their judging style is different, and the requested driving style, is different. So
this was like, one of the things I brought up as something to talk about, especially with you, Shaine, was like how. Most obviously, how that compared to what you guys do. And then I wanted to ask if you think your rule set would change at all in the future based on what you experienced.
Not necessarily, because like for contact. We allow contact between cars, as long as it doesn't knock anybody offline or any of that stuff. But we don't allow contact with rails or barriers, right?
Yeah.
So I think that requires a little more precision. With cross games, we had the freedom to like tap a rail, so like you could tap a rail and still get a 85.
Very high qualifying score.
Yeah.
Which was hard to understand.
Yeah, but for them, what they requested is they want you to drive fast, drive hard, be aggressive, and big flicks.
Yeah.
Like, and just do all of that in the zone. For us, it's like we want a little more precision driving. Like, it's almost like kamikaze driving versus like, I don't even know what the other opposite would be, but
yeah. But I mean, hitting the wall a little bit kind of comes with the territory of throwing it in super aggressively. Like your margin for error is a little bit bigger. So like,
but the thing is, like the way we look at it is, if you throw it in aggressively and you can not hit the wall,
yeah,
takes a lot of skill.
Yeah,
takes a whole lot of skill.
Yeah.
If I can chuck it in knowing that I can tap a wall, I mean, it's just almost like hot lapping it.
You might as well just try it.
Yeah. So that's where it's a little different in style, but I think that's really the only difference, because we still want you to drive hard, drive fast, big flicks. We just want you to do it in a more precise manner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. But I think the side effect is people will take less risks in that rule set.
And that's how you.
It's a good way to separate.
For lack of better words, that's how you separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, totally. The guys that are doing that, granted, definitely sometimes that's just going to be pure luck or accident. But the people that are doing that consistently just shows that's, they're that much better.
Like, I'll much rather than drive hard and flick it and throw it in. And if I hit the wall, I would take that 0 over me driving midline and not being aggressive and getting a 60.
Yeah.
Like it's all or nothing. Like if you want to play with the big boys, if you want to play with the big boys, play with the big boys.
I'm a little boy. I'll take the 60. If it gets me in, I'll take it.
If you told me I was going to get a 60 every time, or I might TQ sometimes, but mostly 0, I would probably take the 60. Because like you said, it gets you in, gives you a chance each time, guaranteed. You're going to fight.
Yeah, but that's part of the fun. Like, I don't think anybody should be playing it safe.
No, we all play it safe.
Yeah,
I wasn't playing it safe. The first one, I chucked into a wall, right? The second one, I chucked into a wall again. I could have played it safe and gotten a 70, 75, 65, but it was like, where's the fun in that? I'm going to go all or nothing. Like, I want the TQ.
Fair. Yeah.
But, well, me, it's a little different because I don't care about the battles, because I got to go upstairs anyway.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do lower brackets.
Yes.
That
has been a huge.
I did it 2 consecutive times, but
I hate lower brackets.
It's been a huge point for me to make, is like, you really at Super G, you really don't want to end up not in the top 32, because that is so hard.
Yeah.
I'm
enjoying my time too. I just don't want to be in the lower brackets.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely like the worst of an uphill battle.
Yes. Extreme.
Yeah. I'd much rather 0 on both, hit the lower bracket, and then not care about making it out, and just go back upstairs and finish doing what I got to do. If I make it to top 16 or whatever, great. If I don't, I just know I did what I wanted to do in qualifying.
Logan, did you want to take that anywhere else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. because we got half hour left. Let's burn
Right.
through some questions here.
What are the best questions on there?
What are the best questions on it? I think the other Sean Lewis question is valid. What are some of the positive things you would tell new people thinking about getting into the hobby? Why should they try this hobby versus others?
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Vittorio.
I don't know what to say.
All right. I'll say
It's a good time.
have fun. Talk to the people that are local to you. Understand that there's no magic pill that you can take to be good. It's going to take time. And try not to circumvent the process. Like I see a lot of people sometimes they get in and they just want people to like give them all the answers and they think that that's going to make them good. But I tell people like what made the people that are good is they went through the process.
Yep.
They learned how to tune, they talk to people, and they're just having fun instead of being like, hey, I just need you to tell me how to do this so I can be good. It doesn't work that way.
Yep. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own style. Everyone has their own tuning method.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daniel IDK, for that little super chat there.
Woo! Super chat.
Yeah, super
Like,
chat.
I guess what I would say is you don't need like the best stuff to win. You know, like Brett showed up with a plastic chassis and won round 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can't buy your way into being good.
You
Nope.
can't pay to win in a real
Nope.
life thing.
It's not
What?
pay to win.
Yeah.
No, it's no way around that. Like,
Shout
love the journey more than the destination.
Facts.
Absolutely.
This is definitely a journey. Like I've been doing this for years, and there's still things that I don't know. That a lot of times I'm just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, but it's a part of the process.
Shout out to Xavier and Albert, my teammates, hopping in the chat. Xavier will be on next week with Alex.
Nice.
Yeah, if you haven't realized, we're doing like team things. So if you're on a team, let me know.
Crap, I'm not on a team.
I mean, you're
Yeah, you're on a team.
you're on a
Yeah.
team.
Team manager.
Yeah, for me, like this was I felt we obviously had both of you on the show before, and they were both great interviews. I just thought, wouldn't it be awesome? Like I feel like we'd get more out of both of you if you guys were on together in a little bit more comfortable of an environment, especially having done the show before and then also being on with your boys.
And
So I'm
boy,
trying to keep that theme alive.
Yeah. Can we talk about the AVCS and normal real quick?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. I'm so overhearing AVCS or normal. It's like just run whatever you're comfortable with. Because at the end of the day, some AVS settings feel like normal and some
Yep.
normal settings feel like
Yes.
AVCS.
It's
So
like on a
whatever works for
550,
you.
you can tune it to feel
Yeah.
each method or each mode can feel like the other mode.
Yeah. Like I've driven cars that are normal and feel exactly like AVCS. It's just whatever parameters.
That's just one of those things that's like it's a completely superficial thing where people that like gatekeeper kind of elitist people will tell you like normal mode because that's how a real car drives because you have to counter steer. It does not matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
A real car doesn't self counter steer.
It also
Yeah, it does
a
self
re-
counter steer.
a real car doesn't have a spring on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like right now, one car runs AVCS and one car runs normal, but they both feel the same. Like with the GYD, you can get it to do exactly.
You can absolutely have a GYD in normal mode where you are turning into the turn, and same vice versa. You can have an AVCS where you're counter steering.
Yeah.
I do want to.
And it's also like Vittorio said, it's a bum argument because you can't let go of your RC wheel and have it counter steer all the way
Yeah.
back to the other side, and you catch it.
Yeah,
It's on a spring and it wants to self center.
Yeah, I'm running a VCS and SR mode. Since you're asking, Alfredo.
Yeah. And then like on one car, I can put both settings on the car and get it to feel the same. Like with the click of a button and go AVCS depending on who I'm driving with. And it'll do a little more in that setting. And then switch back to normal with the click of the button. And I can feel the difference. But ultimately, I kind of like tune them to be really, really close to each other.
Yeah.
Everyone's perception between their finger and their brain and their eyes, like everyone is going to be a little bit different. And for everyone, different settings are going to work better. It's going to make it easier for them to control their own car.
Yeah.
So like,
but I know
find what works best for you.
Yeah, like I can't drive Shane's car.
Mm-hmm.
So.
A lot of people can't drive my car. A lot of people have said my car is their favorite thing they've ever driven.
I can drive most cars, but I can't drive Durkee's car to save my life. Like he asked me to help him with it, not asked me to help him, but he sent his car down because he wasn't gonna be here. So I started messing with his car, and I'm like, bro, how the hell do you drive this thing? Every time I went to take a turn, the front end would just keep going like this, like snapping me back. And then he grabbed the remote, and I'm like, wait, what the hell is going on here? How come it doesn't do it to you?
Yep.
Yeah,
like we 100% gain. I'm like, how are you driving at 100% gain? Like it's almost like your front end is fighting you, but he drives it fine.
Yeah, I have James here, and he has his steering curve set like way positive, and it's like I can't do that on my car. It's just like my car is like impossible to handle with that. But he has the Revox, and it's just like that's just how he does it.
Because I put my steering curve in the negative depending on the actual layout.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like everybody's different. Like
it's just like I said, it's you like you have to use the settings in your servo and your gyro and your transmitter, all the settings that are available to just translate from your eyes to your hand.
Yeah.
And you have to come up with the best like algorithm that
it's more than more than one way to skin a cat.
Absolutely.
The only right or wrong on it is make sure the light is on the proper setting. So like if you're in normal mode, I believe it should be red.
Nope.
If it's AVCS, it should be red. Or green.
AVCS is red, normal is green.
There you go. Yeah.
Just for the chat and anyone who's listening in the future, I think we all run Futaba Accuvants and electronics that are sitting in this room right now.
Yes.
Yeah. You could just leave it alone, Dal, and you'll probably do better like that. Because if you're changing settings constantly, you're never going to learn.
Get used to what you have. Also, I would say, like, philosophically, you shouldn't you shouldn't change.
Don't make any changes the day of a comp.
That too.
If you don't know it, don't make, because even you take the opportunity away from yourself, because now you're trying to change stuff and it's like, well, this doesn't work. When if you would have just left it, you could have drove around whatever you thought the negative was. Yeah. Because you have that experience with it already.
My whole approach is I don't like my chassis is pretty permanent. Like it's set up. I might change like rear camber or something, but I'll drive like with the settings that I have on my gyro and servo for like 2 months. And then one day I'll be like, I just want to mess around a little bit. And I'll mess around a little bit. And then I'll come up with a new set of settings that I like.
Yeah. And
it's like, I keep doing that. But it's like, there's a pitfall trap of like messing with stuff too much, especially near comps.
Like changing the week prior to the comp, if you've had a good car, is something I don't do anymore.
Because you were good for that. I said you were good for that. Like, I want to make this change. Like, what are you doing? The car drives fine.
Yeah.
Now, unless it's like an Ackerman change, depending on the layout. Like, but that's really simple stuff.
I haven't changed my Ackerman since round 1.
So. Yeah, that's a setting that's very particular, and it also is very consistent. It's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't take much to, like, once you get it to where it is, like, quarter turn either way can be bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, Jake raises the point, like, I know Jake has a track in his garage, and it's a 3-car garage. It's a pretty good sized track. If you have like several chassis, it's like, yeah, go for it, go nuts.
Yeah.
But there's value in like driving the settings that you're going to drive in a comp for most of the days before that comp, just so you just really like ingrain that setup in your head.
Steve, Fordyce is an anomaly.
And I think that means he gets DQ'd.
Yeah, he's different.
Was that before or after tech?
He doesn't have to measure anything or nothing.
He's an AI.
Changes stuff and then looks at it and is like, oh, this should drive good, and then goes out there and it's top 5.
By the way, how strict are you guys on the rear bumper height?
Pretty strict.
Pretty strict. There's a ruler with centimeters just for that.
Shit.
Yeah. Just let
Can
it
I
go.
like glue a piece of Lexan to the bumper and call that good?
Yeah, as long as it's
good to know.
Mounted to the body.
Yeah.
Do you have a cut bumper looking? I don't. Wait, what?
Well, the E36 Ti in the middle of the bumper has like a section that goes up and then over and then down.
But 30 millimeters tall?
Yeah, it's like the depending on how I have my shock set up, the highest point is above the limit.
Oh wow.
But I'll figure that out. No worries.
I don't like cut.
Well, just cut the whole back thing off and then put on a rear bumper cord.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pop. Okay.
I could show you. It's put away though.
Was I looking? Someone said that they shouldn't have went over to Sanwa. No, Sanwa's a great radio. Everyone has their own setup. Yeah. Futaba is not the holy grail. It is whatever you make it.
I had Sanwa before I switched over to Futaba. I had a M12S. And then I went to the 7PX.
I don't like the UI. That's all my complaint on it is.
Of the Sanwa?
Yeah. Because it looks touchscreen, but it's not, so I hate that.
Yeah. Oh, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Noble kind of does that too.
Right? Like, Futaba is like the Apple, the touchscreen, everything.
Yeah.
Sanwa, I didn't mind it with the BlackBerry scroll because I had a BlackBerry at one point, so I was familiar with it. But like that, the touchscreen, the ease of use is just amazing.
Dude, the worst thing I've done is D-Style Alex handed me his remote, and I was trying to adjust something on it, and I reached for the screen, and I was like,
"Why isn't it working?"
It was a 4PB. Or whatever, or 4 p.m. whatever.
Oh, the joystick. Yeah.
I was like, whoop.
And he's just standing there like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna rapid fire these questions. Papa Grumpy, after the cross games, are they getting a Golem or staying with their current setups?
Current setup.
Yeah.
I have too many cars, so.
Pulse 123, also in Roast My Rig, he posted a Fortec. What are your genuine thoughts on the new Traxxas Fortec?
I think it's cool to get people into the hobby. That's my opinion on it, but I don't know if it's something I could stick with.
Have you driven one yet?
No.
So
I'm more excited to try that. Was it DC-10?
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously, both companies shot videos at Super G. Who was driving those cars?
Not us.
Really?
None of us.
No, that was all them.
Yeah, I think Traxxas did the cars better in the video.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that. Yeah,
I think Team Associated should have listened to our advice before going on track because and it wasn't that nice on the video.
yeah.
There's nothing to
Which
hide.
is hilarious, right? Well, go ahead, Adam.
There's nothing to hide. Associated did a crap job, like as far as showing how the car drives versus what it needs to do. Like they're marketing it as a competition car. They didn't market a competition car in their video.
It doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. But the funny thing is, like, the better driving was with the chassis that is, in my opinion, not a serious entry into competitive drifting, right? Like the DC-10 Team Associated, like I've said this before on the podcast, they're like a race car. They make race cars. So like the DC-10 is like a legitimate, like, this is a competitive chassis. And then the Fortec is like,
Fortec's something
like,
you can pick up and go.
it's a toy you can play with. What?
Yeah. Fortec is entry level where you can entry real grade where if you break it you can just replace parts.
Yeah. So I just feel like they shot themselves in the foot a little bit having the driving not be as good.
The DC-10 with everyone's updated steering geometry, I think, shows its potential. But when we were shown the, like out of box packaging Ackerman, and it was like turning like this, I was like,
Formula One-ish.
I was like, yeah, it's not gonna work. And I was like, how far are you guys into this? They're like, oh, they're already shipping.
I think that day they went to 3 of us.
Yeah.
All 3 of us at 3 different times, and all 3 of us gave them the same exact feedback without talking to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think number 1 was the Ackerman. It's like, you got angle, but that sweep is not proper.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely, in the first iteration, there's definitely like the signs of like these. They know what they're doing for the most part, but there's a few like key points that they're missing when they made this. And I think, like I said, they're a race car company, so they just will keep making it better. There's at least that hope. The Fortec might not change like ever, right? Like it could just be the same forever.
I think the thing with the DC-10 is that they have a better upside. There's more potential with that car. Because it has the racing base and all that. It's not.
And people, I mean, like
drifting basher.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good term. The Fortec is absolutely a drifting basher. Like, we've already done it. Throw it out in the parking lot and have at it. I will say I'm surprised. Well, I'm not that surprised because we do have a hobby town that has a track in Portland. So I'm not too surprised that we don't see many Fortecs at our track. The only ones we've had are people in the community that like bought one just for fun.
And within the few hours that they've had it has always originated in changes. Like, only one of those guys bought one new. Jake got his off of someone that was already giving up, which is telling, I think. Oh, don't put a brushless motor in it. It sounds like it's gonna blow up.
Yeah,
and the transmission is not. Yeah, but so that was kind of the question we had when they first launched it, was like, how many of these people are gonna buy it, drive it one time, and then sell it? And at least in Portland, there's at least one person that has already done that, which is concerning, right? Because we always talk about the wall that you have to get past, and that person did not get past the wall.
Well, it's like expectations, right? Traxxas. I'm going to drive this thing and it's going to work.
Yeah,
sure.
It'll just be fine.
I mean, it's good for those who like to tinker and who have that mentality of like, I'm going to prove that this thing can be better than what the ceiling actually is. So that's the person who is willing to try 10 different knuckles on this car to figure it out, or make that carbon chassis.
Whereas I think a typical Traxxas customer is someone that expects to buy the car and for it to do what they saw in the video right away without any learning curve or anything.
Yeah.
But Traxxas
It
already
is pretty
has
fun
all of
outside. I will give them that.
Traxxas already has like all of their aluminum upgrades just because of the Fortec, right? So already they're going to be making bank just because of that. Like
Maybe.
not even like carbon fiber chassis. It's just all the aluminum parts that you can get for it.
We shall see.
Yes,
We'll see.
We shall see. I mean, if TTO2 can be a competitive platform, then this shouldn't be a far cry from it.
I think the TTO2 can be as competitive because there's been years and years and years of trial and error with that one. Like if they just slap the TTO2 out like now, like just base with how it came with as a 4-wheel drive, it wouldn't be as far as it is.
Right.
So maybe in 10 years the Fortec, somebody will have figured it out and it could be similar to the TTO2, but I think it's going to take a ton of time and a ton of R&D.
I think with both companies, both Associated and Traxxas, it's like they've had so many good chassis to look at and to take example and like derive a good product from it. Like we're saying, the biggest part of the DC-10 issue is the Ackerman, right? The whole steering geometry setup. We've had so many different iterations from RD 2.0, from RDX, from literally any current steering rack, and it's like we got something that's been outdated.
Out of all the companies, who drives box stock?
Yeah.
Rusty.
Because you have no choice.
RDX.
There's a couple of questions I would like to get into real quick.
Okay.
One that I'll answer for Chris from the Discord. I think this is for Vittorio. Are you a photographer? I think the question is essentially yes.
Yeah, I have everything on auto. Shoot.
Hell yeah. That's just smart.
Some photographer is going to give you the backhand for that.
I don't care. I shoot shutter priority if it's action.
Okay.
And if it's just stills, aperture priority, because that's what it's for. Make it efficient for you.
Yes. That's a very good answer.
I'm here for
when
work
you are
and I need to get the
actually a
shots.
photographer and you realize like how much time you spend out there and how important a lot of the moments that you do catch are, it's like it's so easy to have the setting wrong if you're in a full manual situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, the purists that say only shoot in manual are dumb. Just because of the whole efficiency argument. It's you're here to make money, right?
I would say if you're a hobbyist and you're doing it for the love, like just for fun, sure, shoot in manual. If you're a professional, the minute you are actually doing a professional job, you will you'll probably just switch to one of those semi-auto modes because it's just like, this is real life. I have to get these shots.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where we can shoot at like our heart's content, right? We can delete a picture if we don't like it. Whereas back in the day, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yes. But the other question I really wanted to get into in the short amount of time that we have left is from Guy, who is Let's Drift RC, Seattle's own drift track extraordinaire, outdoor meet arrangement guy. And he asks, has RC drift been an enjoyable impact on your life? And did you want to be as famous as you are, or did it just happen? And that's for both of you.
Oh no, I'm not famous. That's Vittorio. So he can.
Shaine's famous.
Shaine's very famous, dude.
He is. Like, I forget who I was talking to. Oh, I was talking to Hayato when he visited, and he was like, he's like, who do you drive it? It's like Shaine. And I'm like, who's Shaine? And I was like, Shaine Collins. He's like, oh, Shaine Collins. But I guess I mean, there's like some nice parts to it.
It's pretty enjoyable, right?
It's enjoyable.
I don't think anyone would do it if it wasn't enjoyable.
There's also like parts where I'm just like, all right, I need a little space. Like, I get some space.
Can I just? I want to be as fair as possible to you as I can, but do you think some of that is brought on by yourself?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really like shoo people away. Like I'll answer it, and then sometimes somebody like, Shaine, I need help.
Yeah.
Like, and, you know, like I try to answer everyone, but I think like the worst time to approach me is like during a comp when I'm trying to figure out something on my car, and then like I don't have time to look at your car. Like,
Yeah.
Also, it's like if you are comping and you're now asking for help, like literally day of comp.
Yeah.
It's
Probably
like,
not
it's like,
the
sorry,
best.
I can't help you prepare.
Yeah. That's one of my pet peeves. First one is when I'm like literally driving and people walk up to me and ask me a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I will just park and help them, but it's like, yeah, I'm not busy or anything. There's like Jake's like 2 inches, like he's on my door, and then someone's like, "Hey, can you help me with the?" It's like, yeah, totally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, I don't get that. I try my hardest to like kind of fly under the radar, and those who know me know me. Those who don't, I don't know. They always go to Vittorio though, and I just be sitting there laughing like, "Hey, yeah, go ahead. He'll help you. He's the guy." And I just sit to the side and watch. Sometimes I laugh because I can see it on his face. Like, man, I'm trying to focus on something and you're breaking my focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just like I definitely want to be behind the scenes more than in front of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I can't do it. I can't deal with like I have patience, but if someone was walking up to me while I'm trying to focus on something and asking me questions, I don't know. Depending on how long my day was, I might snap and be like, "Hey, man, like, bro, what's the problem?"
Do we want
I
to
don't
know?
think I've ever told someone to like. I mean, the most I'll do is be like, "Yeah, give me a second."
Yeah.
Well,
No, Sean, you've not done it like during a comp.
I've done it to where I'm weird. Like people will ask me questions, and then I'll stop driving and be like, "Where's your chassis? Just give me the chassis," because it's quicker if I just do it right then and there, and I can get back to what I need to, as opposed to like trying to walk them through. But then I feel like after I do that, I feel like I'm taking away from them.
Learning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Usually I do is like point towards the right direction, but like I don't really.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to have to tear your car apart.
Yes.
Like,
yes. Perfect. I do that. I will take all the time in the world for anyone because it is annoying to me. I would rather just be driving, but I also want to grow our scene because it's pretty small. So I want more people. I want when new people show up, I want them to keep coming to the track.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to disappear.
Yeah.
So, but it is a situation where I will like try to like, oh well, here's the problem. Here's how you could. Here's some ways you could solve that problem.
Yeah.
I kind of
go for it versus like just take their car and like do it all for them.
Well, I kind of base it on like their level of experience.
Yeah.
Like, if they're really new, then I'll take the car and just do it. But like,
no, that's right. That's totally right.
A few times I'm like, hey, it's not doing this because you have this setup wrong. For example, try closing your Ackerman a little bit. You're scrubbing too much speed. That's why you can't get out of the car.
Sometimes that's
Yeah.
When someone brings a new build for their first time into the track, it's one of the best things you can do is just kind of like do that, like take the car, go over it really quick, and then drive it like decently well in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, "Oh, okay, I got it. It's me. Got it."
We do that to people all the time.
Yeah.
People like drive this, and you drive it, and they're like, "Well, it doesn't drive like that for me." I'm like, well, technically, it's a driver mod. You just have to learn.
That's like the worst thing to tell anyone.
Yeah.
It is, but I mean, it's good for them to learn. That's the speed question is which comes up is when you have someone that's
30 more minutes, Logan.
Starting up to we got 1 minute.
30 more. We're good.
We got 1 minute. Starting up someone that's starting to get it, and they're like, everyone's so much faster than me, and I'm like, oh well, let me try your car, and then I'll go chase someone that's really fast and just be on their door, and then it's like, okay, it's just you.
Let's go a bit deeper into this. Let's go overtime.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But
So,
is
like,
Logan okay with that?
Logan could go do whatever.
No, we're good. Let's go. Let's keep it rolling.
When,
I have one more beer, so
Real quick.
people,
Yeah.
for cross games, when people came out, afterwards, it was a lot of, hey, your car's fast. How do I do this? How do I do this? And I'm like, my car's not fast. My car's quick, but it's not fast. Like, there's still people that are faster than myself. Like,
Yep.
Vittorio, Ford Eyes, Durkee. Like, I'm like mid-tier speed. But I tried to explain to people, like, it's not necessary, because a lot of them thought like it was their setup. And I'm like, it's not really your setup. It's your throttle control.
Yep.
When you're coming out of the sweeper or something, you're standing on the throttle. So when you're chasing me and you're standing on the throttle and your RPM's at 100,000 and you're not getting any forward push, and I'm at 5% throttle at like 20,000 RPMs, and I'm just pulling away, that's the difference. It's like, guys, it's not the car itself.
yeah. There's Jake and I would consider Jake and I to be, when we have our cars dialed in the right way, we're probably the faster guys at PDX, and it is like we're pretty close to like the theoretical fastestness. So like we really can't like, neither of us can just be faster than each other. It's just kind of like we're both like, we can both be on each other's doors, and then we'll have people that can't keep up with us. So it's like there's not like there's no magic. It's once you have a baseline, like the basic settings, it's just driver. It's just driver.
Yeah. See, Shaine and I are pretty different. We'll gap each other to push each other.
Yeah.
like,
hey, go do what you want to do, and I'll go and I'll put a gap, and then he'll mess with something, and then he'll come back and he'll go right back.
When we're tuning, we do that. But like on comp day, unless like last week, I made a pretty amateur, just like wasn't paying attention to my tires, so I was slow. But like on comp days, like we'll both pull out all the stops and we'll both be just as fast as each other.
So
if we're tuning, then yeah,
it's weird because I'm like, okay, my car's quick, and then everybody else is like, man, your car's pretty fast. I'm like, it's okay. And then I'll drive with Vittorio.
You already know.
Like, okay, we have a pretty good pace. And then Ford Ice will come out and he's just pushing me around, and I'm like, now I feel like the slowest person on the planet.
Yeah.
There's always levels.
Yep.
I can only imagine it's that issue is multiplied at your track because there's so many good drivers. But that we wrestle with that too. Like, yeah, the distance between the speed difference between the top qualifier and the bottom qualifier is massive.
Yeah.
So when you're coming up, it's just like, oh God, I can't even drive behind this person.
I think like the main issue at the track is people driving differently because you're you. Like that's what I've been most annoyed by, and honestly, like that's why I took a break, because I was just like, I don't want to do this, because like, dude, it's not we got 2 months until the comp. I'm just trying to drive. Like, why are you driving dumb?
Yeah,
I can't stand that.
At one point, like a while ago, me and Alfredo, we would try to come out of the gates and see who could get out of the gate faster. It was just like little stupid stuff because the cars are quick. But it's like when you're driving with people that you don't.
I just won't drive with you, Alfredo.
Like when you're driving with people you don't normally drive with, that's how you know your tune is good, because your car can be ran with the faster guys.
Yeah.
But also with the
totally. When you travel, you notice that like we tune our cars to be as fast as the fastest guy at our track. But if you go somewhere else and there's someone that figured out something faster, it's just like you get there and your car is slower. It's like, all right, well, we got to keep working on that. But this is totally like, that's what makes it more exciting for us to go down there, is because now we're showing up and it's like, we got to match whatever you guys are doing.
Level
cap.
cap.
I always say when I went to YDM the second time, and their setup was like Ibizu, right? So they had the whole front jump and whatnot. And the guy that made the YDS system, he was setting a speed trap, and he would shave down his tires and go, shave down his tires and go. Well, the pace that he put was like 17 kilometers or something like that. Nobody in the comp hit anywhere near. I think the highest was like 14.9, and that was by Hikaru. And I'm like, well, how the hell did he get his car to be that fast through that section of the track? Like, but coming back here, I didn't need to be that fast. It's stupid. It's all stupid.
This
unicorn.
This whole conversation is very much alive in one-to-one drift. It is like the whole pretending like speed doesn't matter, or everyone complaining that other people are faster. They're just trying to be fast. People complaining people are too slow. It's just like, I think at the end of the day, the only answer is for everyone to approach being as fast as you can be, because it's just like that's the only like common ground. Whereas if we're all just spread out across the spectrum of it, it's just like
yeah, I just don't like hearing the excuses like, oh, you're driving fast so you're shallow. And it's like, nah, dude, like
judges can absolutely tell when people are quote unquote driving fast.
Yeah, like I've watched it in real drifting, and it was just like someone standing on the brake the whole time to like mess up the chase car, and it's like, then they lost because of that. And it's like,
there's a difference between being fast and being at angle and being on the right line, as opposed to being fast because you're shallow and on the wrong line, and you're trying, like when we're driving and it's considered fast, it's not because we're trying to get away. Like I don't want to get away. There's times where I've like driven slower than what the car can do, because it just looks better when somebody's on your door. And then there's some times where people will say something and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just drive off into the sunset.
Yeah. There's definitely a phenomena on the J tile and the LF3s. If you have the right like pressure and wheel speed, where you'll actually start like fully melting the tire. And if you get into that, you can literally just like take off on people. I haven't hit that formula yet, but Jake can like intentionally do it. He doesn't like in comp because it doesn't really help him, but it is interesting. Like you can absolutely, like he will in those sessions when he does that, it'll be like we're together, and then in the middle of a turn he can just like floor it and he'll just take off. Like he'll build 6-7 car gap, and then you go look at his tires after and they're like physically damaged. So there is a point where you could literally start to melt your tire off. But other than that, like, yeah, the speed stuff is just kind of.
So right off of this topic here, Jake asked the question, what FDR are you guys shooting for down at Super G?
You want my honest opinion? I have absolutely no idea. It's just I figure out what the pace of the fastest person out there is for the most part, and then tune my car for that. That's sometimes I just leave it like, it doesn't need to be that fast, but for the most part, it's like I can go anywhere from, I don't even know what the FDR is, but I can go anywhere from like a 1985 combo to a 2480 combo. I've done a 2777 combo.
No.
Like it's been all over the place, depending on what I want to do and the mood that I'm in.
Yeah. I ran 8623 the longest. I don't know. I don't pay attention to what FDR is.
I think
Whatever works.
There's
Xavier, what's FDR?
Final drive ratio, player.
Your car's too fast. You can't stay in the zone. You
Yeah.
probably
Xavier
don't have enough
definitely
wheel spin.
has no idea what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. When you're too fast, that the car doesn't settle in the zone because it's constantly wanting to like push itself out and drive forward, then you have way too much going on.
I think there's a balance to be found. I like a relatively low FDR because I feel like I can kind of feel it, and it's like it absolutely, it's way more wheel speed than I probably need, but it's also less power, if that makes sense.
Go 1 degree negative on camber on the rear, David. Try that. It's too much forward bite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like to have a little bit more wheel speed than I need because I feel like I can it's easier to modulate because it's less.
Yeah.
The motor has less authority really over the wheel speed at that point.
And just so everyone knows, like, I'm the worst person to ask for like direct degrees and stuff because I don't measure for that. I just adjust until it works for me.
Yes,
Like
that's
I don't
a
know
really
what
good point.
I don't know what my toe is.
Asking specific numbers is not very productive.
Yeah.
Because everything works differently for everybody.
Every chassis, every setup, even the same chassis with all the same stuff, like it could vary so much. It's like you can suggest to increase this or decrease that. It's not like this specific -6 is what you want.
Yeah. That's why you always say, well, this is what works for me. You can try this.
I can't even say that.
Or
I don't
if
know
you're
what
just
it
like,
is.
if you're showing up somewhere and trying to get a sense, like you can be like, what do you guys run this at? Then it's like, okay, I'm seeing that's like a little bit more than we do. Might want to increase mine a little bit. It's not necessarily set it to that.
Alfredo.
Yeah. That 15 front camber is insane.
Is that actually true?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Rio is 16. Jeez.
That's crazy. So what's their caster like?
I don't know.
Well, it's on a Galm, right? So, like, excessive already. 10 to 12.
A lot of caster and that much camber. So
on a Galm is like 8.
So,
yeah.
So then when they are at lock, if they have that much camber, that would suggest to me that they're trying to not have the tire roll over. What's their
tire gets really
what's their camber at lock?
The lead tire is flat at that.
Okay, that makes sense then, because they have high caster, they have a lot of camber gain when they steer, so then they have a shitload of camber so that it's not
all of it.
It's flat at lock. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So it's easier to drive through, and you're not
rolling over the whole tire in the steering arc. That's how I set my car up, but I have low caster, so I don't need that much camber to do that.
Yeah, I think mine's is at like 8 degrees camber or something like that. But like
I think
8 degrees caster, something simple.
Alfredo says it looks cool. I think that's probably the most important part of that.
I think I'm at 8 or 9.
Yeah, it's fairly close. Like I learned with the Shark, you don't need that much caster and camber to get it to do what the front end needs to do.
I have fairly low caster just because I don't. In my head, it's like the drift car doesn't need that pressure on the steering because it has a gyro and a servo, and then just low camber just to make it so it's flat at lock or flattish at lock. I definitely don't want to roll over the tire in the steering arc.
I've seen people who get to like
a lot of people do that though.
Edge, like completely like this. And they're driving. I'm like, man, that's
insane. I mean, most of the people at our track are like a high-ish caster, and they are rolling all the way at lock. They're on the other edge of the tire.
Like in my head, I'm like, one change of like steering input, and that front tire slips because it has nothing to bite onto, but that contact patch is so small. Oh.
Yeah, I
You
don't
go
pay
flat at
attention
30,
to that.
50.
Cow.
You just
I
like what
just-
you like.
I just adjust it until it works.
That's the right attitude. Absolutely.
Well,
Just
so
mess with things until it feels good.
right. So like taking into effect of a 550 though, right? For gyro, how much do you play with that until you consider like physical changes on the car? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, almost
like-
never. I don't.
like-
Yeah, I don't. I haven't made actual physical changes to my chassis aside from like a little bit rear camber or like preload.
right.
Yeah,
So it's
I-
like how much can you play with the gyro until you actually need to consider mechanical changes on the car, right? Because you can't have a good working gyro until you have like a good working car. You can fix a crap car with a good gyro setup, right?
Mhm.
But like,
Yeah. I mean, I mess with tail slides like up or down by 10. And if it has to go beyond that, that's when I make adjustments to the car, but usually I don't have to.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. How much, like, I including front ends and stuff. I usually have like my box that I try to stay in,
Mm-hmm.
which is fairly simple on almost all my chassis. And then I just use the gyro for everything else. Like, I don't really venture too far out of my box because it's worked for me for so long.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, chassis settings, a lot of it is, it's kind of like, in my opinion, comparing it to like a race car, it's like you have to change a little couple things for each track. Most of us only drive one track most of the time. Once you get it to where it needs to be, it can just stay there. And then you're adjusting the way the car actually feels,
Mhm.
which is all servo gyro.
When we went to Texas, I hated my cars, both of them. Like, they were because they were set up for here. Driving there, they were so gripped up. I felt like
Yeah.
it took forever to get them to break
Yeah.
loose.
It would probably be similar if you guys were to go drive at GGT, it would be like, oh no, not ideal.
It was
Yeah.
it was so bad.
My cars have not needed any adjustment on any track, which is I'm very happy about.
Hey, I mean, if you can
Yeah.
make your car do what you want it to do at any track, that's pretty awesome.
He drives a Shark. That's why.
So does Shane. Shane was so mad in Texas at one point. I just thought it was funny.
Because normally I'm like, okay, I need to make the car a little bit more grippier. But for whatever reason at Texas, it was like it took so much to get the rear end to break loose. And I'm like, I don't have this problem anywhere else. And I couldn't figure out why, to the point where I was just like, man, you know what? I'm gonna get some popcorn. Like, screw it. I don't want to make all these changes to my car and then I gotta change it when I get back. But then when I stopped caring, I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. Just gotta give myself a little space.
Yeah. And then we played with bashers.
Yeah.
David
Yeah,
actually
it's
makes
like
a valid comment. It's not a shark, it's a chameleon. I feel like most people's sharks are not sharks completely, unless strictly by definition of a transmission.
Mine is. All mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, my steering and transmission and arms are shark.
Yeah. Deck too. Deck is.
I got a question. I got a question for Vittorio. Do you it's okay, at every track that I know of you driving at, based on what you just said about the bashers, seems like you always have like a secondary thing to do.
Oh yeah, I get bored.
He has ADD.
Yeah.
No, I don't have ADD. I just get bored.
ADHD. Sorry.
We were at Sky Hunter for what? Hour and a half?
Yeah.
And he was crawling.
He has ADHD.
No.
Seriously. You give him, if there's a bunch of things going on, the second one of them sparks his interest, he's gone. He's like a kid at a zoo. Like, he just disappears with stuff.
That's what I was saying. Like the last
Yeah.
when we spoke to Vittorio last, he was he was doing mini Z stuff at the track. Then I met him, and he's like, he had just got a new crawler, which fair enough. You got a brand new crawler. He was crawling.
Yeah.
And then I'm hearing about the Basher adventure. It's like every time you go somewhere, you got something else to do too.
I mean, like, you want my honest opinion, I've been pretty bored lately. Like, like I don't know if that's pretty obvious, but like,
No, I think it's coming across.
I like to play with things, and then, like my drift cars. Like I was telling Shaine, I took it apart like completely and rebuilt it completely different, and within like an hour, I was like, okay, it's back to how it was, and it's just like I can't keep doing that. Like I want some kind of big change to shake things up.
It sounds like you just like the challenge of like starting with something and then getting it to the point of like, where it's really good.
Yeah, like I don't
ADHD.
No, it's just I don't know. Like I don't see like myself chasing for the win. I just drive, right? So it's like if you do good in qualifying, like to me, like that's the end of the day. Like anything else after that is extra.
Interesting.
I am like totally same sentiment. Like honestly, that's why I'm building a DC-10 like tomorrow. Yeah, like I just need something to do.
Yeah, like I'm tempted to pick one up, but I already have like 4 or 5 chassis. So
if I was content with just qualifying, I would be totally happy with myself right now.
The thing is like this isn't your career. It's not my career.
It's really not. But
so like just have a goal.
You lose more than you make.
Yeah.
It's a loss leader.
Like to be honest, like I can't make it to final round, the finals. So I was just like, all right, it's cool. Like it sucks, but I can't make it. Like I'm number 2 in the championship.
I don't think that's true. I think anybody, like within reason, I think a lot of almost anybody. I would even say this in the top 32. If you make it to top 32, it's probably there's some chance that you could win the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
Yeah. But for me,
coming to terms with your actual skill ceiling, is realistic. Yeah. Maybe I'm just not at that point yet where I'm like, I'm still in denial.
You're still big in the cop aspect. I think give it like another year, and it might wear down.
Yeah. Well,
you'll still want to. Like, I still like doing the comps, but I'm not doing the comps for the trophy or the podium.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For the fun and the experience.
Yeah.
Because this is, for me, this is how you get away from the pitfalls of life. Like, this is supposed to be a happy place.
I think 2 points. So, in the chat, I love this comment. It's okay to be hungry.
Yeah.
That's super valid. I think it is okay to want to put yourself in this situation, give yourself the opportunity to prove that you're the best at something. That's completely valid. You're allowed to do that. It's not bad. The reality is for almost all of us is there will be a point where we realize that we're not easily capable of accomplishing that goal.
Yep.
And that is a phase of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not there yet, and maybe someday I will get there. But I think it's also okay to, continue to pursue that, even if you.
Yeah. I think it's okay to be hungry. I think where the issue comes is when you start putting pressure on yourself.
Yep.
Like you can be hungry and still have fun, but the second you choose to focus more on the win, then that's kind of where people start losing it, because it's like, I have to win, I have to win, I have to win, and then it takes out of it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has to wrestle with their own ego, and their own perceptions of themselves. Like I'll talk about myself. I know for a fact that I'm capable of. I have accomplished being the best driver on the day. So in my brain math is there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do that every single time. So if I don't, then it's like I didn't reach my potential. And I think it's totally okay to have that perception, but as long as you have a healthy relationship with it, which is, I know that this is what it is. Thinking that you're going to win every drift comp is insane. First of all, because it is a judged sport.
Yeah.
That's just not how that works at all. So, yeah, I think you have to have a healthy relationship with it, but it is okay I think it's okay to expect to win all the time because you have that, like, you've seen what you're capable of. You know what you can do. And stressing the whole point of you have to understand that it's not always going to go your way, and sometimes that's okay. You have to be okay with that.
Nobody does anything to be a failure at it.
Yeah. I think for me it's more like the work-life balance, and I'm pretty
for sure
like vocal about that to the point where I'm like, okay, once this thing goes into the work territory, and it's like, sorry, the RC is gonna get pushed aside. Like RCDC, I pulled out of it because, well, first I was like, all right, I'm gonna give up a week of work, and this is gonna be kind of serious, or pretty serious actually. And then I was just like, I'm not really down for that. So
for anybody, if you're taking your time off of work and doing something that you aren't actually enjoying, obviously that's a
lying. He's lying. He pulled out because I couldn't go with him.
No,
that was the real reason.
No.
Speaking of winning, our live streams of competitions have been winning. We did the last 2 competitions have been no dropped frames, no weird things going on. So yeah, it's nice when people turn off their Wi-Fi on their cell phones.
I'm so glad that the first live stream that actually worked, I lasted 5 seconds.
Nice.
Alfredo's giving us the time warning here.
Giving us the warning.
We're down to 3 minutes now.
Yeah. All good.
Excited to have Xavier on next week.
Oh, when he comes on, ask him about his nerves.
Ask him what I told him.
I've heard about it.
Ask him what I told him to get over it.
So you know how I'm upstairs and I'm looking down? He was qualifying one day and I'm looking down and I'm like, man, he has to be listening to Cardi B or something the way he's shaking.
Well, maybe him and I will get along because I've obviously chatted with him a bunch, but I haven't actually talked to him in person. I'm the same.
I asked him, I was like, Xavier, bro, you're shaking an awfully lot. And he's like, dude, I can't help it. And I'm like, you gotta.
We did our Tandem Tuesday this week, which is just like a no seriousness whatsoever comp. I did my first battle in that. There's only 8 people. My first battle in that was against this girl Taylor, who it was like her 4th time driving ever. And after I won the battle, I was filming because I always film every battle. The video is still shaky. After the battle, I was still like, what? I'm fine. It's fine, guys.
Speaking of Taylor, she's competing with the DC-10.
Mm-hmm.
She did really well for her first comp.
She sure did. All right.
Yeah, I remember when Alfredo thought I broke my servo because the whole car was shaking at the speaker. I was like, nah, it's just me.
And he white knuckles the steering, so you can see all the shaking.
Yeah,
he goes through foams once a month.
Okay, but I told you this. I came from real cars. That's how I held the steering wheel.
Those Utah foams, he has to get them in bulk because you can just see all the finger imprint.
Yeah, I have a callus.
You go hard on the foam. Oh god.
Jeez. Sounds like you need one of the Yazata wheels or just one of those scale reflex.
I don't like them.
I like a heavy foam, like a thick.
I like the stock foam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, it is that time. Vittorio, Shaine, thanks for being on the show. It was totally a good time here tonight.
It was a sick show. Fun times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dang, chat got an extra 30 minutes out of me. These guys.
Yeah, the peer pressure. peer pressure works.
Yeah.
All right, you
I'm
guys.
on like senioritis this week because I'm going on vacation for a week, so it's all good.
Nice.
Hey, where you going?
I'm flying out tomorrow after work.
He's coming to see me in
I was gonna say,
Connecticut.
going to-
that's-
yeah, I'm
that's
coming to
not a
Connecticut.
destination.
Going to Connecticut. You guys should go.
No.
You can just hop down to Atlanta and we can, I don't know, go drive go-karts at Road Atlanta or something.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if you're in Atlanta, there's a strip club that have like some of the greatest wings that you can find
For the
on that side of
wings.
the country.
Okay, I'll make that a mission. I wanted to ask Alfred or Vittorio about the dang drift carts, but we didn't get to that.
Just do it real quick. What's your question?
Drift carts.
All right.
Last thing, drift carts.
This is it. We did talk about, me and Adam talked about this before. You recently got to drive the, what are those called?
Battle Arrow drift carts.
Yes. How sick was that?
It's sick.
And
It's
are
like,
you going to buy one?
I probably won't buy one because I don't have a car that fits them.
Yeah.
But
Get a
It's-
trailer.
I'm not gonna trailer a golf cart, a go kart. But I mean, the Ackerman is similar to our drift cars. The way you drive is very similar to our drift cars too, because like you can't just mash the throttle. It's like literally exactly the
Stop.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're very low traction.
hmm
Roof rack.
Yeah. But like when
Yeah,
you
roof rack
when
that
you
bad
chase, like you're adding throttle to slow down too, just
boy.
like
Yeah.
our cars. So I was like, this is cool. The gas ones I don't really care for because it's a lot of maintenance. It's kind of like a nitro.
Yeah.
Or C.
Yeah.
But they're working on one with like a Suron motor.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to try that. But
Yeah.
you can adjust the drag brake and stuff just like our cars.
Was
So-
it,
That's
like
cool.
Alfredo says, did you find it beneficial to be able to left foot brake?
Yeah. It's like if you've driven go-karts before, like the left foot brake it activates the rear. Like
Yep.
it's not a front.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
if
like
you play a
it's
setup,
basically your hand brake.
Yeah, that's church. Left foot brake.
Yeah.
Okay, for reals though.
That looks like so much fun. I want to do that so bad.
Yeah. Maybe we can convince them. Or when you guys are in town, I'll
Yeah.
ask.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, around the corner.
Please,
Yeah.
please.
All right, for reals though. We're out.
We're
So
out.
you guys have a good weekend, have a good week, and we will see you guys next
Good.
week.
Thanks for tuning in, boys. That was a good chat activity
Yep.
episode.
Peace out, players.
Later.
Hell yeah.
But don't go yet.